Oh, good shot. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I'm here with Bertie Cordle at Swing Core Golf. We're going to fall back this way just a little bit, Bertie. Bertie, something I wanted to talk to you about. Bertie's visiting from England doing some stuff with Be Better. And something I want to talk to you about, Bertie, is that in doing the videos that we did via Skype and so putting up some of the stuff on Instagram, a lot of golfers have cautioned me not to obsess on impact.
Right.
And that if I chase a position at impact, I'm not going to get what I want.
Yeah.
What have you seen from the people you've worked with and your training aids and also teaching, what is the best way to get a better impact position?
Okay. So firstly, if we can identify the position that we need to reach at impact,
okay,
there is very little. It's much more efficient and effective to train impact straight away rather than trying to reach impact through working on multiple other different things in the golf swing. So we can reach that desirable impact position much faster if we focus on what we're trying to do. So
the one way of trying to get a good impact might be to fix your grip, fix your backswing and your transition and other things.
Yeah.
And then
by blind luck or sort of, we can get to a slightly better impact position. But if the golfer doesn't understand the position they're needing to reach at impact, then we can have the prettiest backswing in the world and we can throw out lag before impact and we can reach a position at impact which is horrible, where we've thrown away lag tension, we're reaching the low point before we've hit the golf ball. And the swing looks, on the face of it, very pretty, but it's not being effective. If we know where we need to be at impact, let's just train that position straight out, and then we can be much better at reaching it. So when people reach impact badly, and people misunderstand this a lot, is by, people talk about holding the angle, right? In the downswing, people say, oh, well, you can't get to impact synthetically because you'll be holding the angle.
When you work on impact, or trying to get a better impact position, or just better impact, a lot of people assume that you're here and you're holding to try to get...
Yeah, so from a face-on perspective, if I hold the angle here, so in my downswing, the angle created between my lead arm and the club shaft, if I hold that angle synthetically, I'm literally just going to be moving the handle independently from my body and my lower body, which would have stalled. And that's just plain handle drag. Okay, so that's just going to leave a club face which is open, okay, and that's not what we want.
So that would be the move that a lot of people caution you from doing.
Yeah, that would be the shank. That would be the shank and the block right. Okay, so what we're wanting to achieve is a situation where we can have that lag angle and lag tension retained through impact, but we're reaching it by better body positions. Okay, hence the reason why. Just what we did earlier about resisting against something here and trying to put a bow in the club there.
Come here and stop Bertie's club for a second.
Yeah, so if you can see here, I'm trying to make a straight shafted golf club look like one of our DST compressors. So I'm pressing my body and my hands and my body weight, putting pressure through that shaft, and now it looks like it's got a bow in it. And that impact line is pointing up to my eyes. Yeah. Okay, and if we know we're needing to reach this position at impact there, we can work backwards from that position very easily, and with someone who's actually not, familiar with golf at all. They say if that's where you need to be at impact, if I work backwards from impact, suddenly this is where I need to be when I'm coming down into the ball, and that's where I need to be at impact. So you can if you work or re-engineer the golf swing or work backwards from impact, you reach desirable positions that are non-critical very, very quickly, rather than working from address into the backswing, reaching a desirable position, then not knowing where I need to be down here, and just hitting at the golf ball and reaching sort of a really weak impact position.
So I think some of the things that people might be misunderstanding when you're trying to get better impact is that result of better impact is not from holding things or freezing at a spot.
No.
But it is a good goal to have better impact.
Oh, listen, I mean, if we can synchronize the sequence of our downswing into a position that we know we need to be in to have control over the golf club, we can learn golf very, very quickly, or we can speed up the learning process. Right. We can be using the golf club more effectively, essentially.
Because it's your point of view, Bertie, and we're going to do a really cool video. Bertie has all kinds of video evidence of this. It's your point of view, Bertie, that as I have this stick here as an extension of my left arm, can't do it perfectly because I can't hold the club. But your point of view is that as you go up the levels of golf, the better and better ball strikers are getting that to happen, huh?
Yeah, they're reaching full extension after they've hit the golf ball.
So these two lines, this shaft and this extension of your left arm, is going to match up somewhere out here.
Yeah, as long as it's after the golf ball, then you've got lag tension through impact.
So here at impact, the really great ball strikers, they have their left arm pointed about where?
About there, yeah, just
there.
in front of the golf ball. And
then
you'll notice
we see like Cameron Champ is like this.
Yeah. And so basically, if you look at your main lever, the lead arm and the club shaft, if you show me that impact position again, this is yet to reach a position where the shaft is aligned with the lead extension of the forearm. Right. And as a result, the pivot point of the main lever is your lead shoulder, right? Now, if you do it badly and you reach full extension too early, if you reach full extension here, now the hinge point from this point onwards into the golf ball is happening from your wrists.
Now, this is some pros have talked to me about like having a really short moment arm.
Yeah, so basically what happens if you reduce the length of the effective pivot, you speed up the club face rotation, which makes it less stable.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, so this is being very...
Yeah, so the club face is rotating through impact faster, which increases the need for better timing. So the club face is pointing at the target for less amount of time.
There's some golfers that don't know that at all. There's other golfers that know that it's good to be like this and just don't know, all right, but how do you do it? Yeah. And that is, I think, the reason that if I had Bertie fly out here to do these videos, because I really think he's onto something between the DST compressor bent backwards clubs. I love training aids, and that's one of my favorites. And the impact curtain, which we've done some videos with, and this line. So they kind of work together in a way that I've seen like real results of getting myself better and better, closer and closer to like optimal lag tension and impact. Yeah.
So the concept is, I mean, you don't have to have a DST impact curtain at home. So for you guys watching, you could go up to and put a sort of a mattress down the side of a wall and just feel that you're kind of hitting that vertical position
with the full length of the shaft.
With the full length of the shaft. You just want to position the wall opposite the outside of your lead foot. So if this was my synthetic curtain here, there's my ball position. I'm wanting to reach this position here when the full length of the shaft is hitting the curtain at the same time. Okay, if I'm reaching that curtain and I'm hitting the curtain with the head of the golf club only, it means that I've released this lag angle too early, and then I've got no option then but to release the hands through the shot.
One thing I would love for you guys to do that I think would be just really illuminating for me as well to see where people are is take a face-on video of yourself with if you have an iPhone, like the 240 frame slow motion deal, and just see where you're getting full extension. And if you put that video up on Instagram or Facebook or somewhere, just put the hashtag #BeBetterGolf, because I would love to see a lot of your guys' swings. But it has to be done, doesn't it, Bertie, a kind of a very specific spot, or else you might not be seeing it.
Yeah, there's really no point doing it unless you're getting the camera and the ball position in the right area.
Yeah, so what? Okay,
so the first thing to recognize is that the camera is kind of, you're hitting the golf ball in the direction that's 90 degrees to where the camera is. Yep. Then you want the ball position in the normal position in the stance. So if you're hitting, a mid-iron or something, just forwards of center, okay? And then clearly what we're wanting to identify.
And then we put the camera where?
Oh, yeah, sorry. So you want the camera so it's in line with an extension from where you want the ball position through the ball straight out to the camera.
So right here where I have this GoPro.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So then you want to sort of just start here, put a T-peg down so you don't lose where the ball position was, and then hit shots away. And what you'll notice is that when you get to the top of the backswing here and you've got it in slow motion, this downswing sequence here, you're wanting to reach a position where an extension of your lead forearm is pointing down to ahead of where the shaft is, okay? And that's what we call a lag impact, and that's where you can identify where the optimal position is because the impact line points up to your eyes. A lot of you, I'm guessing, this is from the data we've collected, 96% of club golfers reach a position where they're reaching full extension before they hit the golf ball. which basically means that typically we see the low point of the golf, the swing, the club head arc will be before the ball. Typically, if you reach full extension before impact, it stalls your lateral movement, it stalls your body rotation, so you have to release the lag angle and basically flick at the ball with your right hand or your trail hand only. And that speeds up club face rotation, which means the club face points at the target for a less or shorter amount of time. And also it introduces lead deflection, which is when the shaft of the golf club bows towards the target. Okay, and that adds dynamic loft, which means that we hit the ball higher, and it means you're going to have a weird strike pattern or inconsistent strike pattern. So if you look down range, your ball dispersion will be very large.
So are you saying that if all you knew about a golfer was a good frame rate camera from this view,
Yeah.
would you have a pretty high confidence to guess their handicap?
Yeah, I mean,
Their handicap range at least?
absolutely. So if you from all the sort of the data we've collected of
So how many dozens of swings or whatever have you?
probably about 4,000 or 5,000 swings.
4,000 or 5,000 swings from face on.
Yeah, from varying levels of golfers. So from
Wow.
club golfers right through to, Rory McIlroy and Justin Rose and Jordan Spieth and all those guys. So basically, what we've noticed is that the guys in the top 10 in the world are all reaching a position where they've got phenomenal levels of lag tension. So they're really sort of like creating this bowed effect. They've got massive leverage on the grip because the pressure points are right at the top and right at the bottom, which you've got more.
And an extension of their arm has not come in line with the shaft yet. Yeah, the shaft hasn't come in line with.
So what you guys will notice invariably that when you try and hit the shot, and you sort of, people will talk about terms like smash factor on TrackMan and things, where you don't compress the ball very well. That basically means you're reaching impact, and the only pressure I can exert on the grip is basically through the trail hand. Okay. And that basically means there's going to be the club shaft is almost pointing backwards, adding loft, and you can't really have lots.
So the best players in the world are up
there,
and then let's go through.
And then there's a bit of a sliding scale to sort of say good scratch players and club golfers who are sort of single figures might be reaching a position where the shaft is in line with the lead forearm.
I see that a lot.
And then the weaker club golfers might reach a position where they're trying to return the club to a position which would be sort of similar to what address is really.
Straight up and down.
Yeah, but either because they don't know or they're taking an educated guess that the shaft of the golf club should return back to a position where it was at address. Mm-hmm. So if you take an extension of my lead forearm here, it kind of points behind the ball, which means full extension was reached back here. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's the point you kind of lose control of the golf club with your lead arm.
And then like a 10 to 20 handicap?
Progressively further and further back here.
Yeah. What's the worst you've ever seen from a regular golfer?
The worst I've seen was reaching full extension up here. Yeah. Everything freezes from the body down. You're just flicking at the ball. Yeah. But it's up here. Yeah. And if you see Cameron Champ recently, this phenomenal guy who's hitting it out of sight, but also incredibly accurate. Yeah. He's reaching full extension with his driver we're talking about now, but he's reaching full extension here, or is reaching beyond impact by about half a yard.
So we have Cameron Champ up here. We've got some guy that you saw back here, and all Be Better golfers somewhere in between.
Yes, exactly.
So let's get closer to over here rather than back there. That's really cool. If you guys have any questions for Bertie, put them in the comments below. I'll make sure that he sees them. He's got a great YouTube channel as well. Just search DST Golf. He has some of these thousands of swings. He's got quite a few, kind of where you'll see this, and we'll get some video of it, where you'll see this motion. And it's pretty convincing stuff. The main thing is, how do you do it? And that's what the system that you've put together is. I'm really excited about. Click the subscribe button. It really helps the channel. If you're interested in any of Bertie's products at DST Golf, there is a promo code you can use, DST Be Better Golf, on that website.
I'll get the
good discount.
The compressor.
So just so you can see it.
So we've got the wedge and the 8-iron, and just like the drill you saw earlier on, the shaft of the golf club replicates the shape of the shaft under its maximum load.
So that is the same as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and again, we've got the impact line on these golf clubs, so you can, if you just hold that for a second, sure. You can see here that this golf club replicates that shape. The impact line points up to my eyes. And there's two elements of this golf club that really help you. Number one, it kind of gets you to focus on reaching the correct hand position, okay? that sort of forward shaft lean element. And the second reason is because this is bowed, from this perspective it looks really bowed, but from a down the line perspective it's a straight shaft. Yeah. So if you swing this club off plane, you'll notice a torquing or a twisting in the handle. Mm-hmm. And that's why a lot of the tour players are using it, because they're working on their swing plane and they don't want to feel the club twisting in their grip. Okay, so if they can keep on rotating through impact and pivoting to beyond where the ball is, they're improving their pivot through impact, basically.
Thanks a lot, Bertie. So you can check that stuff out, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Really appreciate it.